Alrighty folks, welcome back here to round 2-ish. I believe last time, actually yesterday, we just ran out of primers here, and I think I've refilled the tube, but we need to get our nice little counterweight back up on yonder way. Okay, I guess it helps when you put it through the sensor. So anyways, we're back at it here, loading up these 62 grainers from Aguila. Bulk package of 1,000, try to knock these out, but we need to check our powder since I've stepped away from the press. Now we need to double check what it's throwing and seeing if it's still right on. So we're going to start off with a nice 5 throw average, and if we remember, we should have 127.5 after 5 throws. All right, last one. Let's see what we got here. And once again, 127.3, jump into 0.4, back to 127.3. So again, we're within a half a tenth of our target here with an automatic powder measure here on the Dillon. So that's pretty stinking awesome and consistent. Go ahead and put the lid back on the powder hopper. And yep, we're primed here. Now I actually need to check, and now we need to throw powder before we seat our bullet here, okay? And that's how you avoid a squibby. You gotta double check and make sure we've got our powder and all that goodness. But man, these seat just like buttery goodness, I'll tell you what. They just slide right up on in there. And, you know, the first episode here we were talking about not having a sizing die. Does anybody run like an M die or some kind of, neck sizing mandrel or anything to set their tension? Does anybody run that on their 550 instead of the sizing die? Anybody doing any of that stuff? Because I'll use the universal expander if I'm using cast bullets. And so like 300 blackout, for instance, I'll have expander and then dump powder, seat, crimp. So that way we can open up the mouth for our cast bullet a little bit and actually utilize station 1 there for more than just priming. Sometimes, or well, it's been a long time, but in the past, I used to run the universal decapper, so it just had the decapping stem, and that's when I was doing walnut and corn cob, and that would just make sure your flash hole didn't have a little piece of walnut stuck in it, because I know some people are super OCD about getting some cornhole stuck up in your cornhole, you know. Some corn cob in the walnuts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It knocked all that good stuff out. And then you could just seat your primers without worrying about corn cob or walnuts. So once we finish this 100, I have 300 left. So, could probably knock these out in the next day or so, but I'm not really rushing. But I do need to get back onto brass prep, get another good batch going. Like I said, we've got to load up 55 grainers. Then we've got to do 300 blackout. Then we got to do 308. Then we have to do some more. Ooh, that one wouldn't. There we go. Okay, yeah, and rotate. 300 blackout, then 9mm. Stay. Yeah. So lots of projects coming up. More of a like refilling the reserves rather than, you know, going out to test things and stuff like that. But we'll certainly make sure to go and test this stuff. Like I said, I'm going to put the 4 to 16 back to the AR-15, chambered in 223, and then that way we can move the 1 to 6 LPVO onto the old 450 Bushmaster. And that makes a lot more sense, even though the Bushmaster has an 18-inch barrel. And then, you know, the 223 only has a 16-inch barrel. But, you know, the purpose of the cartridges could, you know, obviously 1 to 6 is plenty for anything you're doing with the Bushmaster. And if I need to reach out any further and tickle them, we'll grab pretty much anything other than a freaking Bushmaster. Meh. Although I have heard some, you know, pretty flat shooting 200 grain loads for the Bushmaster, if you can get them going right. I think you hit 2,500 feet per second. That's like, you know, competing with like a silly ass 300 Win Mag sort of, you know, energy and speed and stuff. Pretty crazy. Don't forget, you got to do the twist and reprime. By reprime, I mean, you know, just confirm that they're seated. Like that one felt a little tight, and it's just a little bit proud. So, give her an extra little spin. And yeah, that one's good to go now, brother. See, now that one was nice and smooth. I felt it. We were nice and fully seated there. Same with that one. Yeah, that one feels perfect. But I'm not complaining about the pockets being too tight, because that means we'll just be able to get an extra firing or so before it, you know, blows out or gives away or it becomes too loose. Yeah, that one felt weird. Let's go a little harder. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so let's kick this sucker into gear here. I'll get back with you in a minute. That thing. Well, you need to just slow down there, feller. I bet you guys didn't think I could move that fast, but dang. You need to just take a step back here and chill out. Yeah, jokes aside though, pay the freak attention, old dummy. But, you know, once you get in a rhythm, you feel like everything's smooth until it's not. And then it wasn't. Yes, yes, very nice. These are an odd color of projectile. The copper jacketing is an odd wash. It looks almost like the brassiness, so maybe it's a brass jacket. I don't know. Probably copper, just a different mixture, you know. All the brasses and all the coppers are different. So, you know. I mean, look, it's like, look, it's almost the same color as the brass. I think they look pretty sweet though, right? We primed. Okay, gotta double check. We got powder. Okay. Got to avoid the squibbies. You guys ever had a squib before? It's not fun. I've had 3 freaking squibs, man. All from the same pound of CFE pistol. I don't know if I screwed it up or if it came like that from the factory. But I only loaded about 300 rounds and I had 3 squibs with all of that. So I gave that pound of powder to a friend who I told the issue to, so he was aware. I told him to just go ahead and dump it out, and he's like, no man, I'll take it. So, you know, it shot really well aside from those 3 squibs. They were, one was in 9mm and 2 in 38 special. So I don't know. I can't remember what primers they were, but it's very distinct sounding. It has a very distinct feeling. And luckily, in the 9mm, it barely made it into the rifling, so the next round wouldn't fully chamber. Because I was doing some freaking dude bro mag dumping stuff at that time. And, you know, it wouldn't let me fire the next round, thankfully. So that could have been really bad, you know. And then on the 38 special, it was just such a weird light poof. And I was, you know, taking my time and all that stuff. But yeah, it just felt really weird and light. And there was powder in the case, and it was just like maybe half burnt, and it looked like went from that, like, you know, black gray color to like a brown, kind of like some gross burnt rice or something. So it changed color, but it didn't ignite properly. So I don't know if that was some kind of weird error with the primers or hootie what now, but I wasn't wet tumbling at that time, so there was no moisture in the case. And actually that's the same for the second 2 squibs, or sorry, second and third, both in 38 special. 2 different range trips though, so that was annoying. Because that's all I went to test, and then, you know, a couple rounds in, you get a frickin' squibby. And then on the first one, you know, had to pack it up and take it home because they didn't have a proper cleaning rod to get it out with, so that was super annoying. And that's back when I had to drive like 45 minutes to the range, man. Now my range is only maybe 20 minutes away, but I don't have any time to go to the range, so we'll just spend all of our time loading, and then one day we'll have a big ol' shindig. I'll have a bunch of stuff loaded for each cartridge, so I'll have to do like a whole day of 223 and then a whole day of, you know, 38 special, 9mm, so on and so forth. But that'll be kind of fun. We'll have lots of range reports and what now. Once we get there, it'll be fun to compare this sort of stuff in the bolt gun 223 and then try it in the AR. So you got a 16-inch barrel versus a 20-inch barrel, and a 1 in 9 twist versus a 1 in 7 twist. And then again, bolt versus semi, so should be pretty cool. And by that point, we'll both have 4 to 16 power on there. So the bolt gun has a cheap generic Nico Sterling or something like that. I can't tell, I think that's what the guy said, but it's all spray painted like, so can't really tell what it actually is. But it works pretty well. You can tell it was kind of cheap because at the full power, gets a little blurry, but it's actually quite usable. So I've gotten some pretty good groups with that at 100 yards. So at 200, but that's more me than the gun and all that. So once Old Dummy gets better at shooting, then we can think about upgrading all the gear and stuff. But until then I'm the biggest, you know, variable. But it should be a good old jolly time whenever we can get out there, dang it. And as soon as I'm able to get out there, I'm sure everyone and his brother will be out there with his big pile of Christmas ammo. Just doing all kinds of mag dumps. And I'll be there to pick up the brass. Ha ha. I do enjoy that about busier range days, is all the brass you get. But I also really hate that it kind of interrupts your flow, and you can't just go up and down to the target when you want to, and it can't be all about you. You gotta like interact with people. No, I'm kidding. I actually quite enjoy the range that I'm a member of. Everybody I've met, super nice and friendly. Although some of these older guys, they are like the most hardcore brass goblins you've ever seen. Some of them, they go there every single day. They're not even shooting. They're just gonna wander around, peck down at the floor. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. And you know, by the time I get there, every once in a while, there's nothing left except all the steel case freaking toll ammo 7.62x39 crap they leave in front, where it ejects in front of the firing line. That and the 22 cases, but oh geez. Be careful now. Now I got to double check, make sure I got powder. Yeah, it's perfect. Always good to double, triple, extra check stuff. Okay, yeah. Gotta make sure to get your bullet aligned so it doesn't fall off like some kind of amateur. I do like that it's a boat tail though, because flat base bullets freaking are, you know, a little more challenging to seat. I do like using the Lee expander for flat base bullets with rifles, regardless of jacketed or not. So like 300 Blackout with the 125 grain TNT from Spear. Those bullets are freaking wicked awesome. But it's a flat base, so they're hard to seat, so I still open up that mouth a little bit. And I've shot some 150 grain Spire points and 308 Winchester. Flat base, boom. Now I didn't have to expand it, but it sure did help. It made it easier. And then of course you just barely crimp that back together with your factory crimp die or taper crimp or whatever, just enough to close it up. And you're golden, fellers. So don't be afraid to be expanding your mouth on a rifle case, even if you're not using cast bullets. But back on that topic, does anybody use the M die like I was saying? Or do you use the, what is it, 21st century expandy mandrel set or something? I'm not looking to spend like that kind of money, but if the M die is pretty decent for like 30 or 40 bucks, and if it's like you notice a change or whatever, let me know down below, because it'd be kind of cool to try. And I do like my M dies for the 350 Legend and whatever RCBS dies I have. They come with, Lyman come with an M die. Now that I say that, I'm pretty sure the RCBS is the same kind of design, and they actually let you interchange seating stems and stuff, so probably the same exact designs. But don't quote me on that. I'm just a dummy on the internet. Just like everything you see here. This load data, I'm a dummy on the internet. Don't copy it. Go do your own work. That goes without saying, because you guys are smart. Y'all know what's up. You guys get it. Yeah, we're gonna have to fill up our powder again, and our primer's here soon. Yeah, it's so smooth. Man, I'm gonna have to do more brass prep. I said so smooth, but I feel like it's actually dragging. Yep. No, he's perfect. I don't know, man. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do a ton of brass prep. I probably got enough blackout ready, 9mm, whatever. 38 special, that one's good to go. I'm gonna have to work on some more 223 though, so ew. However, I did for Christmas, thank you Santa, get the Little Crow Gunworks World's Finest Trimmer 2. And so we got 308, 223, and the 300 blackout trim chambers. Man, that is a sweet tool. It's like now the worst part of brass prep isn't sizing. It's not even trimming. The worst part is reaming out pockets and then chamfer deburr. That's all just feels really slow on the prep center, but I don't know how to speed up those processes. You know, without getting like full-on Gerard trimmer and a super swage or something. So for now, for the amount of money I'm going to invest, which is $0, my setup is working just fine. But if you have a, you know, suggestion or let us know what your setup is like for brass prepping 1,000 cases at a time, let us know. But the WFT2 is probably awesome in a drill press, but I've only used a hand drill. It's super sweet, but I could see a drill press being just so fast, like just boop, boop. Now the hand drill, it's pretty damn quick, but it shoots the shavings everywhere, so you gotta like position yourself to not get hit in the face or shoot it everywhere else. So it does get messy. I will say that. I will say that. But dang, is it fast, and it's like buttery smooth. I was doing 308 cases and I was like, man, chopping off 15 thousandths here, that's a ton. Didn't even feel it. It was just so smooth. So they say that blade's gonna last about 4,000 pieces. But I'm thinking if I do 223, it's only this diameter. And then if I do 308 or 30 cal, you know, it's a different diameter, so that's a different part of the cutter. So can I do 8,000 pieces between the two? And then, you know, if you do 243, is it different? 6.5, is that different? I don't know, man. Regardless, I'm gonna get the carbide cutter when that time comes. Could be like 10 years from now, but everyone always talks about the carbide smoothness. Jesus, man. Ooh, that's ugly. Just kidding. Need to be careful. You gotta freaking smoothly glide it on in. Instead, I'm just ham-fisting it. Maybe it's my bedtime. Got a few left though. We're gonna have to dump that out soon too. And I'm gonna need powder and primer. Yeah, we're gonna have to. This might be where we call it here, folks. Primers are gonna go bing ding. I mean E or squee or whatever noise this is gonna be here in about 3 cases. So we're gonna hear that buzzer, and then that's gonna start overflowing, and then I'm gonna run out of powder. 1 piece of brass left. Let's see here. And I need to refill my primer tubes. I can't even fill this up again. Dang, that's like a whole reset. Okay, well, 1 more and we would go ding. So we're gonna call it here, folks. Join me back next time where we refill primer tubes and knock out the remaining 300. Perhaps we might do more, we might do less, who knows? I don't know, man. Anyways, thanks for hanging out, folks. We will see you in the next video. Have a good one.